Live from the basement car park at Area 51 and broadcast worldwide in association with leading radio stations via the internet. It's the Elegant Universe. Your hosts, abducted from Melbourne, Australia. Here's Peter Gagliardi and Shane Hill. Welcome back to another edition of the Elegant Universe. You've joined us once again live on 94.1 FM, worldwide on 3WBC, over the internet, and carried by affiliated stations everywhere on the ether. We're joined today by the very attractive Susie J.
And today we're going to find out about Ocean-born Mary, a New Hampshire ghost story. We have a special guest, Janet McLeod, and skeletons have been found during excavation.
That's cool.
Next up on the panel, I won't say his cooking's bad, but the maggots keep getting takeaway. It's Frankie Hamster.
Look, that's just uncalled for. And that's not true, but the flies have banded together to fix the screen door. Black Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We've got an interesting conspiracy theory for you today, if I can get my tongue around it. And, I'm actually the new and improved Hayley today, so yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know about improved.
Oh, well, come on,
Okay, you both got long hair, but trust me.
Just think of me like wine, with age and maturity comes more body and balance.
Okay, the village people called, they want their gay back. It's Peter G.
That's hilarious. Welcome to the show, Ron. Okay, it's Friday the 13th.
Is
Do
it?
we all know that? Yeah, it's
Yes.
Evil Day. So tune out. No, don't tune out now. Keep listening. I had a list of all the bad things that you shouldn't do, or where the black cat comes from and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
But one of them
Did
is
the
you
dog
can't
eat
say
it?
it over the radio. So unfortunately, I won't be doing that today. But anyway, we do have a pretty full-on show today.
We do.
So make sure you go to the Elegant Universe Radio Show page on Facebook and tell us what you think. We've got
Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter. You
you
can
have
you can
creepy
tweet to us
stories?
using the handle
I
at
might.
Universe Elegant.
I might. But yeah, go there. Tell us what you think. Tell us your Friday 13th horror story, and if you've got a ghost story, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
If
we'd
we
love
could do a
that.
ghost story
Yeah.
over the radio, and yeah.
In fact, if you woke up with a crop circle in your chest hair, we want to hear about that too. You're listening to the Elegant Universe. We'll be back with our special guest. There is no Hayley today. Coming up soon, our special guest, and of course, filling in Frankie, Susie, and Peter. Stay tuned.
But alcohol is legal. They push alcohol 24 hours a day on TV. They push it down your throat. Drink beer, drink beer, drink beer. Why? Well, because it makes you slow and stupid and docile, and that's the way we like you to be. It's only the #2 killer drug in the world, but I've actually seen beer commercials during the war against drug specials. No sense of irony. No irony, no one fucking gives a shit. Marijuana, cigarettes legal, alcohol legal.
Good morning, good evening, welcome. Wherever you may be in this big, wide, wonderful world of ours, welcome to our small part of it on the Elegant Universe. You've joined us once again, however, mysteriously, you've joined us on Friday the 13th, where all creepy things are afoot. If it goes bump, we're probably going to try and get it in the studio. Susie!
I am bringing you, because it is Friday the 13th, 10 creepiest things kids have told their parents. Now, I am the only one in this room without children. So maybe you guys have heard creepy things from your
if I
kids.
say what I'm thinking now, I
Yeah.
go to jail. Yeah.
Oh, no, I was just
Yeah.
thinking maybe number one on the list is, hey, Mum, I'm joining ISIS.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
creepy.
creepy.
Okay, so one thing that has been recorded down is a child saying to an elder brother heard his little brother saying, because he used to think that the angels used to talk to him,
Right.
and he heard his little brother say to one of the angels,
Yep.
I can't kill him. He's my only dad. That's really creepy.
Hilarious.
Hang on, where was this? Where
Guess.
was this?
I'll give you one guess.
The United States of America?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah.
possibly even Utah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Next.
There was a 4-year-old watching a Titanic documentary with his parent.
Right.
And it was showing a scene of the boiler room, and the camera was panning from left to right across the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
And the little boy turned to his mum and said, "That's wrong. Boilers were on the other side, and I was right there." And he pointed to where he was. Isn't that weird? And then he said, "And that's why I don't like water."
Ooh.
So he was one of the child riveters that got sealed in the cavity of the ship,
Or he was
and
probably working
that's why it
in
was
it.
cursed.
Well,
Maybe.
Wow.
Okay.
didn't we do reincarnation last
Well,
week?
I know. See, that was why I
Do
wanted to say that
reincarnation
one.
every week here. don't
I
we?
think there's an agenda, a
I'm
propaganda agenda going on here.
If you're trying to convert us, you've
I
come
am.
to the wrong place.
We believe in science and 50 Shades. That's it. All right, now,
50 Shades of Grey?
yeah.
Excellent.
But here's a funny joke. You know, humans can only see in 30 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
But go on. No, serious.
No, it's true.
Serious. We can
It's
only
true.
see 30 Shades of Grey, so 50 Shades is.
But see, it's a reference to when he goes, "No, I'm 50 shades of beep up."
Yeah. Yes.
That's what the
But
reference.
it's
Oh,
like
right,
the single
right.
line. It's just one.
The whole
obscure
book is
line
based
in the
on that
whole-
one single line. And like I said, I went and I was the only guy in the cinema.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you
Only
seen it?
guy.
Ooh.
And I tell you what, I walked out, and Pete's seen it now too.
Yeah,
I
seen
walked
it.
out feeling creepy.
Yep.
Yep.
I walked out feeling odd.
Look,
Maybe
it
it's
was
because you were the only guy there.
no, it wasn't that. And then
It simply boils down to this. If that character was not a billionaire,
Yeah.
he'd be breaking rocks in prison.
Yep. And not only that, it was like I felt, I can't even put it into words. I was,
Intimidated by him.
Disgusted?
yeah,
Not intimidated.
no, not intimidated. We'll talk about it. Go to your next one.
All right. And so a 5-year-old who was suffering from night terrors
Yeah.
and would scream in her sleep, the mother went in one night and she was just trying to calm her down, and she was going, "It's okay, Mama's here, Mama's here." And the little girl was still asleep, but with her eyes open. And she was staring right at her mum, and she went, "Mama?" And she's like, "Yes." She said, "But who's that behind you?" What? Whoa! That's Daddy. Just ignore him. Okay.
Here's a pretty freaky story just before we go to the break, right?
Goes
This
to Frank Thring.
this dad goes to tuck his daughter into bed, right? This is one of the ghost stories I tell the girls. The dad goes to tuck his daughter in the bed, and the daughter goes, "Daddy, can you check for monsters?" So he checks under the bed, there's nothing there, and then he goes to the cupboard and he opens the cupboard, but his daughter's in the cupboard, and she goes, "Daddy, there's a monster in my bed." What do you do? And then I leave the room silently, close the door behind me, lights off
You're
and everything.
so mean. I think I'm
Peter,
going to study to become
Peter.
a psychologist just so I can see your girls when they grow up.
Exactly.
I'll make
yeah,
millions.
millions. Yeah, you're going to be
make
bankrupted.
millions.
You will. Susie's hit right on it, man. You're going to be bankrupted by your own kids, and
They'll be emotionally bankrupted.
And there'll be a movie like Better Than Sybil,
Gagliardi
you know?
story.
Yeah, the Gagliardi
Totally.
story.
Yeah.
Could this be
My
real?
I'm going to
God.
start doing a documentary on you.
We'll find out more after the break if they let us back on. We'll be back after this.
You have nothing to fear. I have already crushed Optimus Prime with my bare hands. You exaggerate. The point is he's dead, and the Matrix died with him. No, the point is you're a fool.
Come back to the dark side of the universe, the place where even angels fear to tread. It's the Elegant Universe. I've figured out what it was I was going to say about 50 Shades.
Oh, yeah?
Right.
Okay,
Go on.
here's my overall impression.
Yeah.
Okay, two things. First,
Yes.
all it is the ultimate chick flick.
Mm.
Guys generally are not going to enjoy it. It's just a big bunch of titillation and excitement for girls. That's all. That's
Pretty much.
basically.
And what's the problem
think?
with that?
No, I'm not saying there's a problem. I'm just saying guys aren't going to enjoy it as much as girls are going to enjoy it. And the second thing, if that's all he's got,
Yeah.
if that whole "I'll hit you 6 times" and that, if that's the best you can do, and and then she goes, "Never do that to me again. Oh, it's over." And then she leaves in the elevator and all. You've read the book, so I'm not. It's not
I've
a
read all
spoiler.
three.
Have
If
you?
that's the
Yeah.
toughest,
Oh,
if
yeah,
that's
over and over.
if that, well, like I said, I got one of my slaves to read it to me. But if that's the best you can do, 6 smacks on the bum. If that's what you call the alpha male, you need to come and have a bit of a talk to me.
There had to have been more in the
right.
movie than the 6 slaps on the bum with a
That was
paddle.
it. That was it.
Can't
No,
be
she
it.
said she goes to him. Oh,
Show
spoiler
me your
alert!
worst.
Spoiler alert! Show me your worst.
Yeah.
And he goes smack, 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 smack 6 times, and she goes, "Oh, the pain,
Yeah,
the suffering,"
yeah.
and I'm just like,
Well, they
Well,
said,
she obviously never went to Catholic school.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
I know.
there's more pages in a book than there are scenes in a movie. So
Yeah.
you know, if
Shane,
you've read the book,
you
right,
might
you're gonna
like
be
it, you
disappointed.
might like it, you might not. We're pretty.
Look, it's
well,
a
maybe
hot-
it's been saved for the sequel or something.
I have to
They're
take
already making a
issue,
sequel.
Shane, I've
Yeah,
got to
go.
take issue
Go on,
with
Haley.
the fact that you made a gross generalisation in saying ultimate chick flick. Have you never seen Chocolat?
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the titillation side of it. It's all hot and steamy and sweaty, and the guy takes her for a helicopter ride, and they go parasailing, and he's
I've done
like,
all those.
You know, and here's the other thing. Peter and I
And
heard,
you're single.
I just haven't
so
had the
heard
paddle.
a story
Yeah.
about. Here, one more thing.
Yeah.
Peter and I heard the story about, and this kind of happened when I was there because, like I said, I was the only guy in the cinema. This girl's walking out, and she's gone with a girlfriend, and she's turned to her girlfriend and go, "Well, my boyfriend's got a lot to live up to now."
Yeah, it's
And
set totally. It's like women blame
Yeah.
Barbie for setting
Yeah.
unrealistic goals.
First off,
You definitely
your
gotta blame this-
boyfriend's real.
Yeah.
This is a fictional character.
I believe there would
How
be people out there like this, though.
Oh, there've been
There's gotta be.
divorces because of this
There's gotta
movie.
be.
Because the woman goes home and goes, "What are you playing at? Why aren't you a billionaire?" And then the husband goes, "Well, it's a fantasy character. You can't. It's
No
like
way.
putting on your
No.
Batman."
And I'm sure the
belt."
BDSM
What do you mean?
community
Batman's
really.
real?
I'm pretty sure the BDSM community really enjoy being called a bunch of mentally unstable people. Like they would just really enjoy
But
that.
who's calling
Well,
him
look,
that? Nobody's calling him
No,
that.
the
You
three-
The
are.
character. You
Yeah,
know, the,
when you watch the movie, go
Okay.
Frankie.
Now, look, okay, if this is about the man being a billionaire, what self-respecting woman wants to be slapped around by a hyper-obese man in a thong? Because the 3 richest men in this country, Clive Palmer, Frank Lowy, and Jamie Packer,
Yep.
they're not exactly sporting six-packs, are they?
No, but they pull the chick.
They pull the chicks. Yes, they pull the chicks.
You
with what? Not
superficial,
with their charm.
materialistic
No,
person.
hang on.
But
Not
they
with their
do.
charm. They don't do it with their charm.
and certainly not
And
with their
I
face.
do have it on good authority that someone needs to hold Clive's
Oh,
stomach
my
up.
God.
Next
for him.
subject. Let's
Okay.
go to England.
Skeletons unearthing bones.
Go on.
I love this story. So, in the last week, I think it was, skeletons of Black Death victims have been discovered during excavation for London Crossrail, the new London Crossrail,
Yeah.
which is about a £14.8 billion project, right?
Yeah.
There's been 13 men,
Mm-hmm.
3 women, 2 children, 7 unidentified.
Obviously, a village or something. Then.
Yeah. Is
Maybe.
don't you think this is amazing? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
right in the heart
Yeah.
of London.
Well, this is not the first time they've dug up stuff in London and found ancient bodies.
They
and things.
found
It's,
King Richard III not
yeah,
that long
and
ago
Rome-
under a parking
whole,
lot.
A whole battalion of Roman
Yeah.
warriors
Yeah.
and a battlefield. Yeah, every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
you dig in London,
Amazing.
yeah,
And
because
it's-
it's got an amazing
and it's not-
History, yeah.
And it's not like they just got a shovel and went dig. Oh my God, there's a body. It was a
Like-
fair distance underground.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Oh,
So-
no, I've got nothing to say. Nothing to say on the matter of
Okay,
England's
now-
smelly old kings.
Now, you used to live there.
Well, because I went backpacking there after I'd finished a cruise contract over here
Yeah.
and met an English guy over there, Ricky, and so I ended up, but he met my friend Damien, so they were together, and that's how I ended up with Ricky. Anyway, so and Ricky lives in Barbican Centre, which is literally the perimeter of where all of this is happening.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just think it's so exciting that I was living above bones.
Wow. Another time they dug in London and found those giant grasshoppers that took over the world.
Really? No.
Yeah, the Quatermass experiment.
Okay, yeah, now we're really getting
These are
off
from
topic.
like the 14th and 15th century.
Yeah.
How old is that?
So
That's
what they don't
pretty cool.
realise is in those bones at some point in the little air pocket is super Ebola, and as they're
The
digging,
plague.
bang, super
Because they
plague.
died from the plague.
Yeah, and
But
it's
had
like-
time to gestate.
Yeah, and fester and
Yeah.
But you'll
morph-
notice
evolved.
with archaeology and recent archaeology, we only care about the bones of rich white people. We don't care if we find.
No,
a-
they said
a-
they were black plague victims.
No, but who?
You're reading it. It says right in the headline, black plague victims.
But weren't they rich ones? wasn't it in a wealthy?
Are you
part
not
of town?
getting the gag? No, it's all right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Whoosh, straight over the top. Whoosh, over again.
Okay, you've got news, Frankie.
I do have some news. Now, this is really, really bizarre. And if you want to read it, go to the Elegant Universe Radio Show Facebook page because I have put the article up there, and it's from the UK. It's from the Daily Mirror. This is a great headline. These are the sort of headlines that everyone dreams of, right? Police are investigating a plan to smuggle thieving dwarf out of UK in plane luggage, which is a great headline, but I read further. Now, there's an alleged plot to smuggle a thieving dwarf out of the UK as luggage, right?
So this is not a dwarf thief, like a person who steals dwarfs.
No, this is
It's
a
dwarf.
little person who
Right.
is also a thief, right? And, okay, well, the story
aren't
goes...
they all?
Now, Shane, now, we
No,
spoke about this before the show. Gross generalisations. Okay.
Yeah, they are gross. Yeah.
Well, you know,
They shouldn't be. You've seen them? They dress up in like clown costumes and stuff. And
I have, and I've played pool against them, and they throw that milk crate on your toes. Look, anyway, UK-based Romanian Doru Apatral posted a Facebook message to people in his homeland asking them to help him smuggle the man known only as the Midget out of the country.
The Midget?
Yeah. So he's writing in a closed group for Romanians who are living in the UK. This 36-year-old posted, "Good evening. I've got a midget friend, 38 inches tall. He's done a lot of stupid stuff here. He broke into a gas station in Elephant and Castle, also into houses in Seven King, 3 or 4 houses, and he's done some cards. But I won't go into details."
there's a TV series in that. The Midget Burglar.
Yeah, well, maybe.
To catch a midget. Remember To Catch a Thief?
Yeah.
You know, To Catch a Midget. CSI, the half-hour episode. Get it? Because it doesn't take as long to catch. Cause
Yeah,
he's a midget.
okay. Yeah. Now, this Romanian criminal is obviously an idiot because he put this post further. Okay, he goes, "Look, I won't go into details. He's being looked for here and wants to go back to Romania. He knows I'm leaving on the 11th of March, so he suggested I put him in my luggage. He'll add some money to my ticket for extra luggage, which is normal, I think. Is there any risk of me getting caught? And if so, what can happen to me? The midget is an adult. He's 30. Now, I won't go into the rest of the story because I don't want to spoil it for you, ladies and gentlemen, but you could guess that what he would be in trouble for is basically murder. Because you put someone in a suitcase and they go in the cargo hold of an aeroplane
freeze
at
to
39,000 feet, regardless that it's pressurised, there's no oxygen in that cargo hold and no heating. So they will freeze to death and or suffocate.
You're listening to The Elegant Universe. We'll be back after this. Coming up soon, our special guest. Welcome back to 94.1 FM worldwide on the 3WBC network. And don't forget, we are being taped live. Basement car park at Area 51, where they keep all the unexplained stuff. If you've just joined us, you've missed
50 Shades
BDSM
Grey.
skeletons turning up in England, 50 Shades of Frankie Hamster, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Actually, speaking of movies...
I have horror movie facts scarier than the movies they're about.
Ooh.
Apparently.
Okay.
Okay, so I haven't actually seen some of these. Have you seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Anyone?
Yeah,
Yes.
8
Yes.
or 9 times. Before you go on,
Yes.
how remiss of me. I forgot to tell everyone, guess who's in the studio?
Who's on
Is
the
it
who's
Janet
in the
McLeod?
studio?
It is Janet McLeod.
Is it me? Didn't see you come in.
It is.
Wow.
Hey, yeah, I know, I'm sneaky.
Actress, impresario, writer, comedian, runner of comedy rooms.
Trivia night host.
and all
Yeah.
that, and I came in under the cloak of, well, I had an invisibility cloak on, and that's what I
Yeah.
did.
Harry
So
Potter reference.
That's
That's
why
fantastic.
you did not see me come in. Yes, and of course, one half of the duo Cinema Fiasco, which
Ooh.
brings us into the horror movie realms, because what it is, my friend Jeff and I have been watching movies for years,
Yeah.
and we could never afford the good ones
Okay.
at the video store, so
Right.
we would troll the bottom shelves.
Is that like 10 for $2 or
Oh,
something?
yeah,
for
it
a
was
week?
definitely
Thing is-
five for $1 weekly.
Yeah, thing is, I do that because I enjoy those kind of movies.
Well, that's what we did
Yeah.
too. Look, it was a happy coincidence that not only did we enjoy those ones, they're also the only ones we could afford.
Yeah.
And so we learned the art of enjoying things with killer nuns in
Oh, I love it.
or anything with a ninja
Yeah.
or schoolgirls that
Psycho Maidens from Dimension X.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like bloody pom poms, that sort of thing. Which is also how we discovered Peter Jackson. The early
Yeah.
work of Peter
Oh.
Jackson, like Bad Taste and such.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what's your favourite bottom shelf movie?
Well, that'd have to be okay. It's the movie I've seen the most out of any movie. I mean, you know how? Okay, I don't know if you guys have got a favourite good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
How
it's
many
not
times
50
have you
Shades.
seen it? How many times have you seen your good movie?
Oh, heaps.
Batman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know,
Batman probably
what,
hundreds.
20 times?
Oh.
Counting.
Yeah, let's say that.
But
Well,
who's
okay.
counting?
The movie I've seen more than anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is.
And I'm currently at 52 viewings. So
Really?
apparently, that's the ones.
The, she counted
Counted,
how many
yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
That's
how.
all the
Go to
scratch
the
marks in the
record,
doors,
go
you
to the
know.
record.
You know, like the scratch, cross.
That was just the self-inflicted
Yeah.
harm on my body. Houseboat Horror.
Houseboat horror.
1989 release. It was straight to video.
Was
Really?
it an Aussie movie?
Oh, it was Aussie?
Oh, isn't Nicole Kidman in that?
No.
Okay.
No, you're thinking
Houseboat
Jet Calm.
Horror.
That's actually
yes.
good.
I haven't seen it.
No, Houseboat Horror has got.
Yeah.
Let's see. The Animal, the drummer from the Hey Hey Band,
Oh,
is
yeah.
in it. Alan Dale, who was on
Oh,
Neighbours, but
yes.
he's now a respected character actor.
In America. Yep.
It is not on his CV anymore, by the way.
Mm.
And John Michael Hollywood Housen pops in
Oh,
to
you're
make
kidding.
a cameo.
Oh, no.
Really?
Gavin,
Actually, he's
Yeah.
been in like 3 movies, I think.
yeah. So,
yeah. Wow.
Gavin Wood, the voiceover guy from Countdown, he's in it, and he delivers some of the worst dialogue of all time. But this is the sort of thing that I love, and it is just so fantastic.
Yeah.
But so Jeff and I have been watching these movies together for years, and as we describe it, we said, you know what? And then our friends came round and they were sort of laughing at because we just talk about the movies while they're on,
Yeah.
and just provide a live
Because you've
running
seen them
commentary.
50 times.
Well, not all of them, but we'd do a running commentary as it happened. And so our friends just didn't bring chips and dips. And we thought, those cheap bastards, we're going to start charging. And so we took it into cinemas. So
Oh, cool. Excellent.
so we started off at the Astor Theatre, soon to go by the wayside, our dear beloved
Oh,
Astor.
they didn't
Oh.
save it.
Well, it's
I know there was a
it-
campaign.
yeah, it's saved as a cinema, but it's going to change.
Ownership?
Well, the business
Management.
yeah,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
management.
So you don't think they'll keep the same classic format going?
don't know.
Well, I hope they do.
It depends on who takes over the lease, but we're doing our very last cinema fiasco there on the 20th of March.
Yeah.
So what do you
Friday,
do?
20th
So
of
you
March.
take your favourite movie in and
And
What-
show it to the
is
public.
that it?
we show our favourite crap
Pom
movie.
Pom.
Yeah.
Massacre, Part
Like we're
4.
talking about that's it. We're looking at what artistically negligent movies, shall we say? And then Jeff and I sit there with microphones and we provide a running commentary. We don't take away.
Oh,
the
Shane's
soundtrack.
always.
Yes, yes, yes.
Shane has actually
Yeah, that
always
was-
said he wanted to
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
exactly what I wanted to do.
We
It was
just
when I-
ship it. Well,
Yeah.
stuff you because we're doing it.
You did it
We
first.
ship in.
Yeah.
And just point out the highlights, the
Yeah.
joy,
The inconsistencies.
The
cheerleading.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also thought it'd be really, really cool if they brought back, you know how you could watch 4 or 5 movies in a row, like the Bruce
yeah.
Lee movies?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
How cool would that
Or
be?
like festival.
Yeah.
We would love to do
Fiasco.
I know, right?
All
Like,
night.
oh my God.
24 hours of fiasco.
Yeah.
So the 20th of March, folks. Don't
The
forget to go
29th,
there.
was
You
it?
want to know what we're doing?
Yeah, yeah.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
It is a modern classic. Well, when I say modern, 20 years old.
Huh.
It is the Paul Verhoeven classic Showgirls.
Oh, what?
Showgirls, if you haven't seen
Pretty
it,
hideous.
it's tacky. It's really
Yeah,
tacky.
yeah.
Again, speaking of movies, horror
Okay.
movies.
Horror movies.
Yep.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it, but the human skeleton at the end of the movie
Yes.
Yeah.
is a real human skeleton.
Well,
it's not
that's
fake.
creepy.
It was bought
You know,
from
it's
India.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
it,
where you
because a real skeleton is cheaper than the plastic
That they
ones
make.
that they use in medical school. It's actually cheaper to go dig up a real skeleton.
No,
Only
you know,
takes a couple of hours.
a lot of the medical ones.
I
do-
mean, yeah,
they
sorry.
They do come.
Yeah.
They do come from India. A lot of the medical ones. So, I don't know. There's a lot of.
Yeah,
Indians
they-
So yeah,
going.
apparently there's one hanging right at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
if you've
yeah.
seen it,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
real. Have you seen Candyman?
Yes.
Okay, so in Candyman, there's a scene with the actor Tony Todds where he has bees crawling
Yes.
around
Here we
in
go.
his
There's
mouth
gonna be
and
real
everything.
bees.
Oh, yeah.
They are.
They're
Well, they
real
are.
bees.
They
yeah.
are, and so he actually had a mouth guard in to stop him from swallowing it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the fear of his face and everything is 100% real.
He swallowed this mouth guard. Yeah.
yeah.
One more, then we'll go to the
Big
break.
movie.
Okay, so Rocky Horror.
Yes.
That's an oldie and
Yeah.
a goodie. Okay, so there was no heating or bathrooms on set.
Okay.
And Susan Sarandon complained about the cool set, but was told
I'm
to
a
just
star.
suck it up.
Yeah.
And after, the big pool scene at the end where they're
Yeah,
laying
yeah.
in the pool and everything, she caught pneumonia from that.
Oh, there
When
you
you
go.
watch that film, you can see just the breath.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
You
yeah.
can see
Yeah.
how cold it is.
Such
Yeah.
a great cult
And
movie.
that and the nipples.
It is. Yeah. We used to do the regular. It wasn't at the Astor. It was a similar. They would every Saturday. They would have everyone would turn up in costume and in the rain.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. And they would during the rain scenes, everyone up the back would have squirt bottles and water pistols, and it would actually start raining inside the cinema.
cool.
You're listening to the Elegant Universe. We'll be back with our special guest Janet. So I'm trying to get the word Janet and guest together.
So the special,
Guest.
the special
Janet.
guest.
Janet McLeod.
Janet. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. If you've joined us again on the Elegant Universe and you're listening to us on 94.1 FM, we have in the studio our very special guest, the vivacious and very loud Janet McLeod. So I made that rhyme. I got it.
There my name.
Yeah,
McLeod.
loud. One of my secret hobbies for years, and not many people know this, Peter knows it, but I actually collect bad movies.
He does.
Oh, cool.
From all over the world. Like, one of my favourites has got to be the Turkish Superman movie. Now, because it's made in Turkey, they can't have him fly. And they can't actually have him do his superpowers. So what he does, if he's chasing some criminals in a car, he actually runs beside the car.
And
goes,
he runs
"Stop,
really
guys.
slow."
Slow down. And stuff like that. And they're like, it's Superman, we better, instead of just driving off. So, and Mexican vampire movies where El Santo, the Mexican wrestler, battles the vampire women. I love those kind of movies. And you're into that stuff as well.
Yeah, well,
You've
that's
made a
it.
living out of it.
It's true. Like Jeff, my partner in crime, has got a massive collection of crap movies, and he's like anything that's Italian zombie
Cool.
movies.
Love it.
Just
The old
everything.
1970s zombie movies,
Thousands.
Zombie Island and
Yeah.
Zombie Walk. And so if we wanted to find out more about you, we can go to the Facebook page at
And it's www.facebook.com/Cinema Fiasco.
Cinema Fiasco and a webpage.
We've got a webpage. It isn't a one. It's just, those weird ones where it's just the HTTP.
Yep.
etc.
No.
It's just cinemafiasco.com.
Okay,
It's that
cool.
simple. And you can see our back catalogue, some of our back catalogue with the descriptions of the wonderful cinematic gems that we have done. in
That
the past.
sounds absolutely excellent. I'm definitely doing that.
Hey, I was going to
Yeah.
say we've also got some others lined up because we're at Cinema Nova in Carlton.
Yep.
as well.
Okay. Yep.
But we're going to be starting. There's the Elstonwick Classic in wonderful Elstonwick.
Yeah, it's just down
It's
the
there
road
in the
from my
name.
school. Yeah, go
There
on.
you go.
Yeah.
We are doing, as part of the City of Glen Iris Festival of Voices, City of Glen Iris Storytelling Festival.
Yeah.
Right.
The Storytelling Festival, we're doing a Danish monster movie, Reptilicus.
Excellent.
How cool is that?
When's this? When is it?
Well, it's
You've hit every.
June the 13th. We're doing a matinee.
Fantastic.
Even though we're not really a family show.
Really? No kidding.
As we say, unless your family
It's
swears.
the Addams family, then come along.
If your family swears and talks about sex a lot, it's a family
Oh,
show.
Peter, you'll fit right in.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
So that's it. So we're doing Reptilicus, which is the first Danish monster movie ever made, and still the only one.
Yes.
They just got it right the first time, so why change?
It was only 6 months ago I watched it. That's the one where they're on the mining. They go
yeah.
on the mining camp. Yeah, I'll say no more because I don't want to
Never
spoil
seen
it.
You don't don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah.
basically some fossilised flesh is
Yeah.
dug up from a
Yeah.
mine,
Yeah.
and of course it defrosts and of course spontaneously
All fun,
regenerate.
Yeah, of
all
course.
fun ensues after that. Speaking of horror movies, Susie,
Yes. Well, we have more.
have you not being ready again?
No, I've
Bob?
got them. I've got them. I
Where's
just had
Susie's
my
paperwork, Bob?
scary things that kids were saying. Okay, so The Ring. I've seen The Ring. Have you seen
Yeah.
The Ring?
Yep.
Okay, so you know how it flashes at the beginning? I don't know if you remember that, but at the beginning and the end of the movie, it actually flashes.
Right.
And the deadly tape in its entirety, just at high speed. Like if you play the movie back in slow motion, I don't know.
Right.
Oh yeah, you can play
Yeah.
things
Yeah, you
backwards
can,
in
yeah.
slow mo, can't
Yeah.
you?
I have the
Frame by
equipment.
frame,
Yep.
you can see the whole tape being played of the movie.
Right.
Like
Ah.
the flashes are the movie in full.
Okay.
The movie that's within the movie where
Yeah.
the girl comes out of the well and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's the actual.
okay.
Yeah, but so if you play it back in slow motion,
Right.
that's what you actually see. But that's what the fast flashes are.
Okay.
Oh, so it's each frame of the movie just going through super fast?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
Or is it like
Wow.
one frame out every 24?
Oh,
See, I
Well,
reckon
You're getting
so this is
technical
like
now.
in the 60s.
I used to
in-
work in the film department.
In the
TV
60s, they had a thing called backmasking on records. And the Beatles got, that you'd play the record backwards and it would give you a satanic message. In all of the history of that, and
Yep.
because the religious groups came out, oh, the devil's trying to take over our children. Oh.
Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing. The only true example they ever got of it was off a Patsy Bisco record.
Really? What did that say?
When you ran it backwards, it said, kill your parents with an axe.
Did it really?
Kill your parents with an axe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's totally
Next.
true.
Yeah.
It's completely 100% true.
Well, I mean, that's one thing to listen to records backwards, but what if in real life a child, your child,
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
up to you
Yeah.
Okay.
and said, so one night this mother let her 3-year-old sleep with her because the husband was away, and when it was dead quiet, the little girl goes, I've got you where I want you, and now I'm gonna eat ya.
Evil children.
Oh, don't you love kids?
There's something about evil children in movies that makes
Yeah.
it even creepier,
Yep.
isn't
Yeah.
it? Or there's just those weird things like in Eraserhead. I don't know if you remember the baby in Eraserhead. It was based on like a calf
Well,
embryo. It was
You know, that's the weird thing. I remember bits of Eraserhead. I went
Yeah.
in my period. I took myself to Art Nouveau cinema. Eraserhead was on, and I thought, because I was trying to understand different kinds of movies, right? So I went and saw Eraserhead. I remember the chicken and the room being flooded, and I remember his girlfriend. And I think I remember the baby, but the rest of it just kind of was so subliminal that it just sort of went in one part of my brain and died.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
it.
was
Your
just-
adolescent brain just went,
Yeah.
you know what? That's not important. You
It's-
don't need that right now.
It hasn't got Bruce Lee, zombies, or rockets. Why am I here? Yeah.
Do you know what I still can't watch now, even as an adult,
What's
is
that?
in the Poltergeist movie, the first
Yeah.
one, where the cameraman or staying in the house goes to the fridge to eat something or something, or goes to the mirror and the maggots start pulling his face away.
Yeah.
You seen that
Yeah.
bit? I still to this day cannot watch that.
Really?
What? There's something
Just
about
that scene.
people pulling their faces off that you just don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
I just can't relate to it.
You
No,
better,
it's good.
you know.
It's good we know one of your fetishes. That's good.
don't
Okay.
don't go to one of those facial peel beauty salons. It'd freak you out.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be back if they let us. We'll be back after this. You're listening to The Elegant Universe with our special guest, Janet McLeod, and all the rest of the crew. We'll be back after this.
Welcome.
It's terrific to be here on 3 White Horse Burundara Radio.
On Friday the 13th. And Frankie's back in the room with us.
I am. You
and
can
you
smell it.
You two are colleagues around the comedy
The
circuit?
realms? The realms?
Yes, around the realms
Let's
of
go
it.
for that.
Colleagues, I wouldn't say colleagues, but
Well, you're both comedians, right?
We're both comedians. I mean, Janet's a comedian. I'm a wannabe comedian. But yeah, that's a very nice thing to say.
You get paid for doing comedy.
I do. People do occasionally give me money.
See, there you go. Therefore, you are a
There may be a hat on the ground
Yeah.
and people walking
Usually
by.
in the
but
form of change, but
Yeah.
money nonetheless.
We've all got a story.
Frank, let's go for comrades.
Comrades.
Yeah, actually,
There you
yeah,
go.
comrades. I love that
Comrades-
term.
Yeah.
Comrades in arms. That's it.
Get
Makes
it.
me think of goth when I hear that word.
Oh,
Makes
yeah,
me
that's it.
makes me think of Russia.
Comrade?
Really?
Yeah, I played too much Red Alert when I was
I think
younger.
so.
That's the problem.
I think so. You obviously haven't
Is that
seen
like
enough of Tony
battleships or
Abbott.
something?
No, it's a computer game. Don't worry
Okay,
about it. You just don't know
I
the
know anything
struggle.
about
You don't know the
computer
struggle. Anyway,
But
He
we
only-
digress. Susie, you were
We-
saying something.
Oh, well, okay. So, Janet, let the viewers know something about yourself. So, you run comedy rooms around Melbourne?
I have got a weekly comedy room called Local Laughs, which is
Cool.
on every Monday night.
Cool.
It is the longest running weekly comedy room in Melbourne.
yeah.
Fantastic.
And quite probably the longest running single operator, as in I'm the only one who programs,
Yeah.
comedy room in Australia's comedy history. Because
Wow,
we're looking
Fantastic.
at, what is it, 12 years?
12 years.
Yeah.
I'm persistent.
Yeah. I really couldn't tell.
And every
Yeah.
time you go to Local Laughs, it's all full of comedians that have been on the TV. So,
Yeah.
And
you
where's
know,
it at?
That's pretty cool.
Oh, it's at a place called the Local Tap House in
St Kilda,
yeah.
Carlisle Street.
Carlos, you're good. Oh,
Mm,
jeez.
she's
Hey,
on the
hey.
ball.
Here.
Eh?
It's just up from the library, guys. There you go.
So our show's about the weird, wacky, strange things in the world.
Yeah.
And one of the things we ask our special guests is, what is your favourite conspiracy theory? Like, what do you like? Do you like, some people like Bigfoot, other people like Bermuda Triangle. If one stood out in your mind, which one would it be?
I don't know. Well, I do like Bigfoot stuff. I also
Yeah.
like, I kind of like ones that almost could be true, like the thylacine things, that the thylacines that get signs of the Tasmanian tiger
Oh,
around.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And that actually could be true. So I think that's verging not quite on conspiracy. Cause
No,
might
it still is,
actually-
still is.
But I also love the big cats out in the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Victorian bush sort
Yeah,
of things.
the panthers and
I
all
like,
that.
I like this notion that some American soldiers probably had them as some sort of a mascot, despite
Yeah.
the fact that there is no record of this ever happening ever. Or I could have escaped from a zoo.
Yeah. Or a circus.
Or
Have
a
you
cir-
heard that
or a
one?
circus.
Well, my favourite story is a one about a Sasquatch, which is Bigfoot.
Yeah.
In
Yep.
America, this guy was in his trailer, of course. It had to be a guy in a trailer. And he was pleasing himself, let's say.
Oh, yes.
And Bigfoot was apparently watching him through the window,
Right.
copying him. That's the story he told people. He said, well, he didn't notice until Bigfoot tried to run away and knocked over his bin and stuff. This is a true story. It's just
yeah.
absolutely
I like the way
ridiculous.
you're saying it's a true story.
Well, it's this guy's saying it's true. So,
Yeah.
So
you had...
he looked through the window, which is a reflective surface, everybody, reflective, at something that was mimicking him. I wonder what's going on there. And he was living in a trailer by himself, drinking.
Yeah.
Smoking.
And he jumped up
Yeah.
to notice that the
Yeah,
Bigfoot
and it jumped up and
jumped
ran
up
away.
as well.
Yeah, who would have thought?
And as I saw the Bigfoot stumble over the bin, I tripped over one myself. Who would have thought?
So I had another drink.
There was,
Calm my nerves.
There was a guy who rang into ABC local radio. Where
Yeah, yeah.
I'm on every second Tuesday at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Hey guys, tune in.
What, ABC Radio?
Yeah,
Cool.
Nothing
Look,
like the
ABC
graveyard
local radio.
shift.
Yeah, no, I've got a big listenership of elderly insomniacs and interstate.
Is that
truck drivers.
the Trevor Chappell show?
Yeah, the Trevor Chappell
I
show.
love Trevor Chappell.
Oh, good. And Trevor
Oh,
Chappell's
cool.
great.
He
and
is.
This chap called Bongo,
Yeah.
who went by the name Bongo, rang in once when Trevor had gone with one of the producers to the Pilbara region, I think it was.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
And somewhere where lots of spooky stuff was supposed to be going on. And so the regular producer, Michael Pavlich, was back in the studio in Melbourne.
Okay.
And this guy rang in with his story of going through this region. He was driving his truck, he pulled over, and this hairy beast got him out of the truck and dragged him through the bush to its
What?
lair, where there were all these bodies with bandy legs hanging down, all these sets of
Okay,
bandy
yeah,
legs
yeah, yeah.
hanging down. And so the guy was let loose because he didn't have bandy legs, and he
Oh,
just
okay.
assumed the creature liked those. And he ended up, he was saying he lives in, something like, a lovely meadows or something home
Yeah.
where he's looked after.
Yeah.
And the part of you would go, oh, yeah, it's somebody having a lend. But when you listen to the recording, it is so creepy. And
Wow.
he
That's
rang back
great.
another time, and there was true terror as he So for him, it was 100% real.
Wow.
Oh, good grief.
And
Full
it
on.
is, if you just look up Bongo, Yowie, Hairy Beast, something
Yeah.
like that, and there is a recording of it on YouTube.
That's
and
fantastic.
It is so creepy.
The Australian Aboriginal version of that's called the Kodaichi Man.
Yeah.
And we actually, because I'm from the Northern Territory, most people don't know. That's why sometimes my language is a little bit different. But
No, you are different.
we were walking around a place called Orange Creek, and we went with a bunch of our friends, Aboriginal friends, and they walked up ahead, right? And we were talking. I don't know what we were talking about, but all of a sudden they came running back, fly past us, and we thought, "What the hell's going on?" And you know how you hear something really heavy on the ground? We heard a boof, 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 like getting closer, and we were Jesus. We could have ran on water. We took off that fast. We didn't see what it was, but they were like, "Oh no, it was the Kodaichi Man." The Kodaichi Man,
Yeah.
and in their belief system, the Kodaichi Man is this really, really tall, black, sort of hairy figure, which is almost or pretty much the same as Bigfoot. But apparently the Australian one's meant to be real vicious, real like nasty.
That's it. There's the Kodaichi Man, there's the Yowie, and there's also, I can't remember the name, there's a smaller hairy men.
Is that a bunyip?
As well. It's,
Bunyip?
Well, no, the bunyip's
Bunyip's
different.
one of them, but that's
they
more
live
like
in the water.
yeah.
Oh, right.
There's Little Foot Woman. Have you heard of that one?
Little foot woman.
The Little Foot Women are like a little tribe, and they're tiny, but they've got little feet too
Yeah.
for some
Oh,
reason.
yeah,
Okay.
I've heard of
And
that.
and
I've
they
heard of
run
that.
out of the bush and they get men and they abduct them and they rape them multiple times to death, and that's how they have more
Death
little.
by Bundy.
That's death by Snoo Snoo.
Oh, snoo,
So,
snoo, Bundy. Yeah.
You know, so-
Pumbaa.
it's. I'm not sure if it's a whole Australia thing, but it's definitely a story in the Northern Territory.
Regionalised things. And that's interesting, isn't
Yeah.
it? That there's so many stories all
Yeah.
throughout the world of these hairy creatures.
Yeah.
That's spooky as, man.
Well, one of my
Spooky as.
favourites is when they discovered the gorilla. They thought gorillas were just hairy people, and they were trying to communicate with them. Go, oh, would you like a drink? Can you imagine trying to give a drink to a razorback?
Well,
what are they called?
I mean, a
Silverback,
silverback
yeah.
gorilla will just pick you up like a banana
and
and
peel
then,
you.
and then grab the top of your head and go rip because he's trying to peel you,
yeah,
right? Just,
exactly.
then off comes an arm,
Yeah.
and
And
then
that'd
the
be it.
part of your back.
Anyway, so tell us your stories. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, more from our special guest.
Welcome back to the Elegant Universe with our special guest, Janet McLeod. It's story time.
It is story time, and this week's story is about ocean-born Mary.
I'm terrified because I have to do an accent in this, and I'm terrible at accents.
So it's a New Hampshire ghost story. Ooh. So, Janet, just to explain, and this week, listeners, I have stepped it up and I've actually given them something to follow along with instead of just
Yeah, the
pointing
last
at them.
few weeks were agony.
Yeah, we're like,
I was just seeing if you could, work on your feet. Anyway, so we're going to begin, and basically your lines are highlighted. So just read the highlighted line.
All right.
How's this a line? Well, we'll get there.
Okay. In advance, I would like to apologise to anybody that I offend with my terrible accents. I am required to do an Irish accent. I'm terrible at that. At a certain point, I'll probably break into an impersonation of Dave Callan.
Excellent.
Right.
Bring it on. Bring it on. All right.
Who's sort of got a deep voice.
And to take it off, to start off Ocean-born Mary and New Hampshire ghost story, I throw to Janet.
Ooh, top of the morning to you. I'll go wet the tea.
That was brilliant.
It's brilliant.
That was
is
brilliant.
See, jumping in. I like it.
I can't do it.
Come on.
Would you like a potato with that?
Irish immigrants from Londonderry, Ireland. In 1720, they set sail for America, where they'd been granted some land in New Hampshire. As they neared Boston, Elizabeth went into labour.
For the love of God, give me drugs.
And whilst giving birth, a strange vessel accosted her.
What?
What?
Oh, sorry, typo. And whilst giving birth, a strange vessel accosted their ship. They were fired upon and forced to heave. No.
says
They
vomiting.
were forced to heave the vessel aback. But it was too late. The ship was boarded by a band of pirates. And their leader, a surprisingly young man, not 20 years of age, was dark, handsome, and ruthless. His name was...
Don Pedro.
His English was flawless as he ordered all of his captives killed.
I order all my captives killed.
I just said that.
No, but that's on my line. Look.
Yeah, but would you read your lines?
I see. This is quite clever.
Would
see
you
what
read
you've
your
done.
lines?
Wait. Where are we at?
He's trying. Oh my
It
gosh!
says
He's trying
Peter.
to. It says Peter. He's trying to go off.
Yeah, I just did that one. Ah, yes, but not my flawless English.
See, it's missed. It's gone. Stay with
Yeah, I ruined it.
Acting, Peter.
Anyway, okay. At this, we're jumping ahead now because you've taken up 10 minutes. At this fatal junction, cries of a newborn baby girl could be heard from below. No, a girl, baby girl. Thank you.
See how I did that?
Arr, Captain.
Oh my gosh, I've
Shay,
even
come on.
highlighted your
Oi.
lines.
Oi.
Take me to that crying child.
To be sure.
See now, anyone else think
Wait,
it's
wait, you missed a line.
Completely.
Oh my gosh, you people need to read this before. Anyway,
Lord, man, it's there.
Pete,
Oi, to be sure.
No, we've ruined it.
so after gazing at the tiny baby for what can only be described as a very, very long time, a sailor was heard saying in a whisper so as not to disturb Don Pedro.
See now, anyone else think it's a bit weird how long Don Pedro has been staring at that tiny baby?
What you mean?
Almost going on dinner time, ain't it?
At which point Don Pedro says to Elizabeth,
If you name this child after my mother, Mary, I will spare the lives of everyone here. Sheep.
Well, Mary, really, crap, fine.
Don Pedro turned to the man across the way and said,
You there, what would your name be then?
Blaine mean lord.
Blaine?
Mean Blair.
I beg your pardon?
Finnegan?
Go to my ship and bring me back my armload of gifts.
After which Don Pedro presented Elizabeth with a green brocaded silk and said,
This is for my little Mary's wedding dress.
at which point he and his men left the ship.
Oh, but I hate the colour green.
Years later, ocean-born Mary had grown into a beautiful red-haired young lady, and in 1742, wearing the green brocaded silk, married James Wallace. They went on to have...
Wah, wah, wah.
Haley.
What? No, Haley's... No. What? You are Haley.
Oh,
Okay, so sadly after the last baby was born, James Wallace died. Nice timing.
no. Nice timing, Jimmy.
Around this time, Don Pedro had retired from sea life and had begun searching for his little Mary. Discovering her widowed and with 5 children, Don Pedro moved them all into his mansion and married Mary. One day on returning from his errand, Mary found Don Pedro and one of his pirate friends carrying a large black trunk to the orchid tree in the back garden. There was hours of digging, then silence, before Don Pedro and his pirate friend re-entered the house.
Mary.
Don.
Mary.
Pirate friend.
Pirate friend.
Don.
Can I ask what you two were,
No.
And it was never spoken about. Almost a year later to the day, Mary arrived home to a gruesome discovery.
Oh, Don Pedro, you've been stabbed to death by the orchard tree with a cutlass.
Cutlass, a short, heavy, slightly curved sword with a single cutting edge formerly used by sailors.
So I will bury you under the hearthstone as you
How
requested
does an
years
orchid
ago.
tree stab someone?
No, it was the cutlass that stabbed someone.
Yeah, but how does an orchid tree hold the cutlass to be able to... I don't get...
Anyway, Mary died in 1814, and legend has it a red-haired female ghost haunted the mansion of Don Pedro and Mary for many years to come before it was demolished, although one of the houses where one of his sons, Robert, lives still stands and is known as Ocean-born Mary and here we conclude Ocean-Born Mary, a New Hampshire ghost story that was told very badly.
That was brilliant. You're listening to The Elegant Universe. When we get back, it's our very special other guest, Frankie Hamster, with this week's Conspiracy Theory. Ooh. Welcome back to The Elegant Universe with our special guest, Janet McLeod. Woo! It's story time.
It is story time, and this week's story is about Ocean-Born Mary.
I'm terrified because I have to do an accent in this, and I'm terrible at accents.
So it's a New Hampshire ghost story. Ooh. So, Janet, just to explain, and this week, listeners, I have stepped it up and I've actually given them something to follow along with instead of just pointing
the last
at them.
few weeks were agony.
Yeah, we're like,
I was just seeing if you could, work on your feet. Anyway, so we're going to begin, and basically your lines are highlighted. So just read the highlighted line.
All right.
How's this a line? Well, we'll get there.
Okay. In advance, I would like to apologise to anybody that I offend with my terrible accents. I am required to do an Irish accent. I'm terrible at that. At a certain point, I'll probably break into an impersonation of Dave Callan.
Excellent.
Right.
Bring it on. Bring it on. All right.
Who's sort of got a deep voice.
And to start off Ocean-Born Mary, a New Hampshire ghost story, I throw to Janet.
Ooh, top of the morning to you. I'll go wet the tea.
That was brilliant.
It's brilliant.
That was brilliant.
See, jumping in. I like it.
I can't do it. Would you like a potato with that?
Irish immigrants from Londonderry, Ireland. In 1720, they set sail for America, where they'd been granted some land in New Hampshire. As they neared Boston, Elizabeth went into labour.
For the love of God, give me drugs.
And whilst giving birth, a strange vessel accosted her.
What?
Oh, sorry, typo. And whilst giving birth, a strange vessel accosted their ship. They were fired upon and forced to heave. No.
Says
They
vomiting.
were forced to heave the vessel aback. But it was too late. The ship was boarded by a band of pirates. And their leader, a surprisingly young man, not 20 years of age, was dark, handsome, and ruthless. His name was
Don Pietro.
His English was flawless as he ordered all of his captives killed.
I order all my captives killed.
I just said that.
No, but that's on my line. Look.
Yeah, but would you read your line?
I see. This is quite clever.
Would you read your lines?
Wait. Where are we at?
He's trying. Oh my
It
gosh!
says
He's
Peter.
trying to. It says Peter. He's trying to go off.
Yeah, I just did that one. Yes, but not my flawless English.
See, it's missed. It's gone. Stay with
Yeah, I ruined it.
Acting, Peter.
Anyway, okay. At this, we're jumping ahead now because you've taken up 10 minutes. At this fatal junction, cries of a newborn baby girl could be heard from below. No, a girl, baby girl. Thank you.
See how I did that?
Go.
Arr, Captain.
Oh my gosh, I've
Say,
even
come on.
highlighted your
Oi.
lines.
Oi.
Take me to that crying child.
To be sure.
See now, anyone else think
Wait, you missed a line.
Completely.
Oh my gosh, you people need to read this before. Anyway.
Lord, man, it's there.
Oi, to be sure.
No, we've ruined it.
So after gazing at the tiny baby for what can only be described as a very, very long time, a sailor was heard saying in a whisper so as not to disturb Don Pedro.
See now, anyone else think it's a bit weird how long Don Pedro has been staring at that tiny baby?
What you mean?
Almost going on dinner time, ain't it?
At which point Don Pedro says to Elizabeth,
If you name this child after my mother, Mary, I will spare the lives of everyone here. Shit.
Well, Mary, really, crap, fine.
Don Pedro turned to the man across the way and said,
You there, what would your name be then?
Blaine mean lord.
Blaine? I beg your pardon?
Finnegan?
Go to my ship and bring me back my armload of gifts.
after which Don Pedro presented Elizabeth with a green brocaded silk and said,
This is for my little Mary's wedding dress.
at which point he and his men left the ship.
Oh, but I hate the colour green.
Years later, Ocean-Born Mary had grown into a beautiful red-haired young lady, and in 1742, wearing the green brocaded silk, married James Wallace. They went on to have
Wah, wah, wah.
Haley.
What? No, Haley's no. What? You are Haley.
Oh,
Okay, so sadly, after the last baby was born, James Wallace died. Nice timing.
nice timing, Jimmy.
Around this time, Don Pedro had retired from sea life and had begun searching for his little Mary. Discovering her widowed and with 5 children, Don Pedro moved them all into his mansion and married Mary. One day, on returning from his errand, Mary found Don Pedro and one of his pirate friends carrying a large black trunk to the orchid tree in the back garden. There was hours of digging, then silence, before Don Pedro and his pirate friend re-entered the house.
Mary.
Don.
Mary.
Pirate friend.
Pirate friend.
Don.
Can I ask what you two were,
No.
And it was never spoken about. Almost a year later to the day, Mary arrived home to a gruesome discovery.
Oh, Don Pedro, you've been stabbed to death by the orchard tree with a cutlass.
Cutlass, a short, heavy, slightly curved sword with a single cutting edge formerly used by sailors.
So I will bury you under the hearthstone as you
How
requested
does an
years
orchid
ago.
tree stab someone?
No, it was the cutlass that stabbed someone.
Yeah, but how does an orchid tree hold the cutlass to be able to... I don't get...
Anyway, Mary died in 1814, and legend has it a red-haired female ghost haunted the mansion of Don Pedro and Mary for many years to come before it was demolished, although one of the houses where one of his sons, Robert, lives still stands and is known as Ocean-born Mary. And here we conclude Ocean-born Mary, a New Hampshire ghost story that was told very badly.
Oh, that was brilliant. You're listening to The Elegant Universe. When we get back, it's our very special other guest, Frankie Hamster, with this week's Conspiracy Theory. Ooh. Welcome back to The Elegant Universe. Well, I'm confused, listeners. Her hair says punk. Her clothing says 1950s. Her shoes say 1960s Piccadilly Square. Who is she? She's Janet McLeod.
What are those earrings? Are they spiders?
They are. They're spiders. I've got spiders in my ear and a fly on my cardigan.
Okay,
So
the next obvious question is,
it's a narrative.
do you have any tats?
Nah.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, no. Sometimes I like them on other people, but I don't want any myself. I'm a big fan of crap tattoos too,
Really?
where somebody's just gone for something pretty unwise. I used to have a crap tattoo competition at one of my trivia nights.
Yeah, I saw there was a guy who had something tattooed on his forehead. Was some word or no? What was it? It was the name of a band or something.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Tattooed
gosh.
on his forehead. And, the title, there was about 10 of them. It was like world's stupidest mistakes.
Have you seen this new show on TV about tats?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, is that have you it's amazing.
Yeah,
this
the late
one
night tattoo shop.
this
Yeah,
guy-
that's
this-
not new. That's been around for like 10 years, that show. Yeah.
I've only just
The one where the girl tattoos people and all that, and she's covered in tats herself.
Oh, it's a store in
LA Inc.
Yeah, LA Inc.
Is
yeah.
that it? I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, that's been around for a while.
Okay, sorry.
Where have you been?
I've just never seen
had
it.
I
a different
thought
name.
with you, alcoholic, covered in tattoos, living on the street, you of all people should know that show has been around.
Anyway, I saw these 2 girls went in one night, and it was one of their birthdays, and she had promised her girlfriend, like she wasn't, I don't think they were a couple, but
I
her
won't
friend,
get a tat.
she's like, okay, I promise I'll get whatever you want me to get. And she's like, okay, so she turned to the guy who was doing it, and there wasn't actually a tat. What it was, you know how when girls wear corsets and you tie them up at the back?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we know.
yeah.
We know.
It was
we know.
a corset down her leg of body piercing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's common. Yeah. There's another one where they do it on their back. They put the
Yeah.
needles
Yeah.
and then they thread a
Yes.
ribbon through the.
They can even hang them from roofs
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I've
Like
actually
50
been to a
50
hookup
Shades of Grey.
night, and it was I've actually been to a hookup night, and it was the most beautiful yet disgusting thing I've seen. And it
hookup?
was
What do you
scary as all hell.
Oh, as in,
Yeah, an actual hookup. Yeah.
Where
As
they
in-
hang
as
them
in-
from the roof, not
Huge meat hooks in the back, and then that person is
Well, Stellark, the performance
Yes.
artist, etc. He was
Cyborg
he,
man.
He did a lot of that.
Yeah.
He sort of pioneered a lot of
what
that
in
Australia.
your career as a comedian? What, what's something that just really stands out for you that is just something you've never forgotten, and you just go, well, that was just a trip?
Well, gosh, I always see things that are an amazing treat. So I have so many visual images in my mind. I mean, even I've just come back from the Adelaide Fringe and seeing things like there was a show called Trash by a duo called Funny Bones, who were coming to Melbourne for
the
the Comedy
Comedy
Festival.
Festival?
Their show's in the children's section, but adults go.
Yeah.
And they just, at the very end, these bizarre puppet things that they have, which crawl around the stage and then tower up 10 feet tall.
Is
and
it creepy?
No, well, it's surprising.
Right.
Sometimes when something which is quite small suddenly becomes very tall right in front of you.
Yeah.
It is. It's just alarming.
Yeah.
So do go see Trash. Trash by Funny Bones.
What have you got anything coming up in the comedy festival? What about at your room down at
yes.
Tap House?
Yes, we continue all throughout the year, so every Monday. So it just means that during Comedy Festival we get people who are just testing out things or playing around, coming on down. So sometimes we can't advertise them.
Right.
So you just have to be there. But I can tell you who's on this Monday. We've got the fabulous Liam Ryan as our MC.
Yep.
Cool.
We have got Nath Valvo, David Quirk, Laura Davison, Lawrence Lung, who is currently on... Have you seen Maximum Choppage?
Oh,
on
yes.
BBC?
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
He's a great comedian.
Oh.
He's very good.
Lawrence, you're a clever thing you are.
Yeah.
We
my
do love
friend
you.
Anthony's in that as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. It's very good.
Oh,
Look at us,
Us and our showbiz friends, eh? Me and Sue. What about you guys? Anybody you know on TV?
They know
at
us.
the moment? Yeah, you
Yeah.
can bask in our glory,
They
guys.
have to learn
Yeah.
to read
Well,
scripts before they go any
Yeah, I'll
further.
say.
I think so.
Speaking of which, I have been on Neighbours and I have done this and I have
yeah,
done
we-
that.
Were you playing a mute?
Yeah, yeah.
I've been an extra on Neighbours
Yeah,
too.
we all have.
It's like national service, isn't it?
It is. It
like
is. You get to
jury
a point,
duty.
you go, yeah. When you're a kid, you look at, I'd love to, I want to be, and then when you get there, it's actually a wasted day of hard work. We do have a show coming up, though, don't we, Pete?
Yes, at Remo's.
Remo's.
On the
Yep.
29th, which is going to be full on.
Coming very quickly.
What are the details? What's this?
This is a hypnosis show.
Yeah.
With obviously Shane's Australia's premier hypnotist.
Yeah.
And the show is full on. You get dinner and a meal. The place is great.
Dinner and a meal.
Dinner and a
Yeah,
meal.
who would have thought?
This is amazing.
Anyway, dinner and a show.
Dinner and a show,
And the food,
which is what he meant.
the
You
food,
get a performance and a show, and dinner and a meal.
Yeah, that's
At
it.
Remo's. Where's Remo's? Where is it?
Remo's in Churnside. And it's a great little place. Excellent food though. They gave us some. Well, what did you get that night?
I had the tuna, the salmon or something.
Yeah, and it was
very
full
and the
on.
fish as well.
Yeah,
good. The
yeah,
tuna, the
fish as
salmon,
well.
and the fish.
Mm.
Yeah.
I sometimes I say pen and paper, but sometimes I say pad and pen.
Oh, pad and paper.
Yeah,
You mean?
pad and
Give me a
paper.
pen.
Yeah. Yeah,
Give me a
I can't
pen
even-
and
now I
something
can't
to
get it
write
wrong.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a pen
ball. I
and
don't
something
know
to
about you
write with.
So when is it? When's the show?
Who's doing the interview here? You're being interviewed. You go over there. We'll do the show.
So tell me,
So
when,
the
when's their
29th
show?
of March.
29th of March.
At Remo's in Churnside Park. Don't miss it. You get
That's
a meal and a show
Yeah, it's
for
full on.
$40. Almost all the tickets are sold out, people. So you need to get onto that quick. Go to the Facebook page at
The Elegant Universal Radio Show.
for all the details, and you'll be able to find out there are links, and it's all over the place at the moment. Don't miss it. It's going to be fun. It's your opportunity, listener, to see me doing what I do.
And I've noticed that I am just
Crazy.
jumping ship here. But I love that your greatest fear is moving house.
Oh, it's
I'm scared of those as
terrifying.
well. They come down the street. House.
I'm going to sit in this driveway. I don't care. Moving houses, they're terrifying. Yeah, oh yeah, I've got a lot of stuff, Sue. I've got a lot of stuff at my house. And because, you like props, costumes, production gear, just paraphernalia of all sorts, hilarious retro things, taxidermied animals. Oh,
Really? What sort of animals?
What have I got? Let's see. I'll go through a mental inventory. Let's see. There's the magpie. There's the raven. There's the.
Were they your
two,
pets?
No,
Originally?
two cobras fighting a mongoose. Don't like the mongoose's chances on that. I've got 3 fruit bats. I've got.
I've got
Holy
2
crap.
here in the room each week.
Yeah, they're nice.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
Hoody ho ho ho! Streets on fire. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff.
You
It's,
just
horrific.
collect everything then, don't
I
you?
do. Sometimes you wonder, is it
What's
a
the-
collection? It's not quite hoarders.
I was about to say,
It's
do we
not
need to
that.
call hoarders?
No.
Okay, I walk into your house. What's the craziest thing we see?
Am I standing
Yeah.
in the passageway
Other
or
than
not?
yourself, what's the craziest thing we see?
The craziest thing. Well, some people would think it is some of the cobra mongoose does get a lot of attention.
Yeah, crazy. I've seen those.
Oh,
Give me
probably
crazy.
My mother's
no, don't.
knitted food.
I thought you were going to say my
Knitted
mother's
food.
taxidermied corpse in the corner,
The,
posed as if she's having dinner.
There's a whole lot on display. A whole lot of my mother's craft works. There's like
Okay.
knitted donuts and
What?
Tim
That's
Tams. And there's
funny.
also the knitted hot breakfast that's on the kitchen bench.
great.
There's
That is
also
gold.
there's also
Is
a
that
lovely.
just to mess with cockroaches' minds?
Yeah, that's it. So they go, this looks tasty. Oh, nothing's happening.
lost my
That is
taste.
gold.
You go.
A
You got to.
knitted meal.
You're going
A
to
knitted
take it,
hot breakfast.
the knitted donut, and you go. It seems to be high in
Your
fibre.
mum, your
Low
mum
in
was
calories.
a genius.
Oh yeah,
That is gold. That is
It is
comedy
pretty
gold.
good.
Do you
Yeah.
live alone?
I do.
That's why, is
Yeah,
it?
that's
There
right.
you go, listeners. And the address and the front door's always open.
Yeah.
No, we won't give your address.
You don't know where it is.
No, we're not going to give it.
It's at Remo's. It's just there.
Yeah.
When you're doing your show, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
cool.
That'll be in my lounge room.
Worst ever gig.
Worst ever gig? Oh gosh. Worst ever gig. Well, like there's been some pretty horrific trivia nights where there's a sports club and you've got inappropriately behaving sports people.
Oh, I think I just experienced one of those last Saturday
You know,
night.
I remember where there was one guy. Oh, I actually ended up terrifying him though. That was the thing. I remember there was just this painful table, and one guy was going, "Oh, show us your tits," and I said, "Oh, mate, neither you nor I am going to get anything out of that experience." He went, "Oh, why, why?" And I said, "Because I've had a double mastectomy," and he went, and I said, "Well, I haven't, but you would look like a complete twat right now." If I had. And so, no offense intended to anybody who has had that operation, but
Yes.
it was it was like his entire being did this thing where you know when a snail, there's a snail and you touch its eye and its eye goes.
Folds back into
That's what
itself.
his
Yeah.
soul did at that moment.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, you're listening to The Elegant Universe with our very special guest, Janet McLeod. We'll be back after this small break with the final wind down, the gig guide, and saying goodbye to all of our friends. But not you. You have reached the final part of The Elegant Universe. Yes, you have bravely made it all the way through another edition. You've survived our special guest, Janet McLeod.
Special guests.
Special gestation, Janet McLeod.
Woo, special jest.
Jester.
Janet McLeod.
That's good. I don't know what's wrong with my tongue today.
It's attached to your head.
That was a good one.
Anyhow, moving on.
Yeah. I'll squeeze yours if we need any. Anyway, no worries. Okay. Frankie, any gigs? We've got Fart Lab.
Yes, look, Fart Lab starts on the 25th of March this month, 488 Collins Street, Arrow Hotel, Clean Comedy Hub. Tickets through my webpage, Clean Comedy Hub webpage, festival webpage, and I'll be in the ACT this week doing the Canberra Comedy Festival Gala, and I'm the judge of Class Clowns, so that's a lot of
cool.
fun.
There's a step up in the world for a comedian.
Yeah.
Judging Class Clowns. That's good. Excellent. How long's Fart Lab go for?
Fart Lab runs for the full length of the festival. It's on from Wednesday through Sunday, starting on the 25th of March and closing on the 19th of April. It behooves all of you to go. There'll be free gifts, no smells, but lots of farts.
Links are also on the Elegant Universe Radio Show Facebook page. Check it out. Don't miss it. Janet, what beautiful things have you got?
Okay, this coming Monday, 16th of March, the local tap house in St Kilda in Carlisle Street, 184 Carlisle Street is a local laugh starring Liam Ryan, Nath Falvo, David Quirk, Laura Davison, Lawrence Long, and also Friday week, as in next week, the 20th is Cinema Fiasco versus Showgirls.
Beautiful.
8 p.m. at the Astor Theatre in beautiful downtown St Kilda.
I might get my Diamante bikini on.
Oh, yes,
Come on
please
down.
do.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
a showgirl
Do-
in the
please,
past.
please do. Also, the links to that and pictures of the bikini Facebook page, Elegant Universe Radio. Apparently, I can go to jail for saying that.
Yeah.
Apparently, the law is wrong.
No.
that's
it's
why
just
you're
asking.
denigrating- out
It's
there.
denigrating and taking away the beauty of women and our ability to say, hey, you are nice and you look good. I go to jail for saying that. It's ridiculous.
Well, it depends on what words you use
It's
to
because
tell
you
me
say it
that.
with it's because you say it with your pants down.
Get your
Jeez.
hand off it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got nothing coming up, but if you want a coffee during the week, come and see me at Canterbury. I'll make you one.
Okay. Dear listener, on behalf of myself, the crew, and our special guests, Frankie and Janet, I'll ask you to do two things.
Yes.
Be safe, be kind, look after yourself, fake that you're normal, and dream great dreams.
Catch.
That wraps up another life-changing edition of The Elegant Universe.
Thanks for being part of the action. We love you.
Wherever you go in this great, big, wide, wonderful world of ours, don't forget to tune in next time.
Catch.